Let's be real. Generative AI is a total game changer for us marketers. But, and this is a big but, it can also become a data privacy nightmare in a heartbeat. We're all excited to use these incredible new tools, right? The real question is, how do we do it without putting our customer data at risk? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. And just a quick heads up before we get started, everything we're covering here comes directly from Chapter 3 of a fantastic tutorial by Virtualization Options LLC. All right, let's just cut right to the chase with a question that honestly should keep every single one of us marketers up at night. Is that shiny new AI assistant you're using secretly leaking your customers' data? It's a huge risk and one we absolutely cannot afford to just ignore. So that brings us right into our first topic, the new customer data risk. AI is this incredible tool for personalization, for efficiency, but it also opens up all these new, kind of scary pathways for sensitive information to get exposed if we're not being super, super careful. I'm talking about the stuff we use every single day, right? Contact info, what people buy, their demographics, what they like. You know, on their own, each of these little data points might seem pretty harmless, but when you put them all together, well, you're building a very sensitive picture of a real person's life. And that's where the real danger is. It's not about one little piece of data getting out. It's the combination. Once you link someone's purchase history to their location and their demographic info, you're not just looking at a customer profile anymore. You're looking at a life. And exposing that is a risk you just can't take. Okay, so that's the problem. So how do we fight back? Well, we need what I like to call a data protection toolkit. These are the defenses you can and you absolutely should build to shield your customer data before it ever gets near an AI. Your first line of defense, and this is non-negotiable, is a technique called data anonymization. Think of this as the foundation for safely using customer data with any AI tool. It's all about stripping out the personal stuff while keeping the data useful for getting those juicy insights we need. So how do we actually do this? It basically breaks down into 4 key moves. First, you get rid of the obvious identifiers. I'm talking names, emails, you know the drill. Second, you generalize things, like turning a specific age, like 28, into a broader range, like 25 to 34. Third, you aggregate the data, lumping individual records into bigger groups. And fourth, you suppress any little bits of data that could be used to reverse engineer who someone is. And this slide right here, it shows you the magic in action. Look at the top row. We've got Sarah Johnson. She's 28, lives in a specific zip code, bought a very specific product. That's a ton of personal info. Now look at the bottom row. We still have the valuable insight. A person in their late 20s on the West Coast bought a premium product, but we have no idea it was Sarah. See? The insight is still there, but the risk is totally gone. But hey, anonymization is just the start. We've got to build secure data habits into our daily workflow. That means only collecting what you truly need, storing it securely, limiting how much it's exposed to AI, auditing who's using it, and, this one's huge, getting rid of it when you're done. This has to be a cycle, not a one-time task. Okay, so we've locked down our data internally. Great. The next layer of defense is picking the right third-party AI tools. Because trust me, not all platforms are created equal, and the choice you make has massive security implications. Now, this is a difference you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Those free consumer-grade tools, they often use your data to train their models. Let me say that again. They use your data to train their models. That can mean your confidential customer info becomes a permanent part of their system. Enterprise tools, on the other hand, have clear contracts, data processing agreements, or DPAs, that legally prevent them from training on your data. Plus, they have heavy-duty security certifications like SOC 2 to prove they're serious about it. So think of this as your essential vendor checklist. Before you even think about signing up for an AI service, run them through this. Do they have strong contractual protections? Are they certified? Are their privacy promises crystal clear? Do you know exactly where your data is going to live? If you can't get a confident yes to all of these, your answer needs to be a firm no. All right, let's bring this all home. We've talked about all these technical steps and vendor checklists, but they all serve one ultimate goal: building and keeping the unbreakable trust of your customers. Because without that, let's face it, nothing else we do matters. This really requires a mindset shift. Data security isn't some boring chore you pawn off on the legal department. No way. It's a core part of our marketing strategy. It's how we prove to our customers that we respect them and that our brand is one they can feel safe with. And you know what? Transparency is your best friend here. Being open with your customers doesn't have to be scary. A simple, honest statement just like this one can actually make your bond with them stronger. It shows you're using tech thoughtfully and you're putting them first. It turns a potential weakness into a major relationship builder. So I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. As we go deeper and deeper into this new age of AI, is being transparent about how we use data and technology becoming the single most valuable currency we have as marketers? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.